What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Too Many Frames, a show where we talk about video games, anime, and everything else that is in between. I'm back from my vacation, and of course, every single time that I take a break, a whole bunch of news comes out while I'm away, but we can finally go ahead and get back into it. There's been a few developments that I have missed over the past few days, and especially for Pokemon news. So the first half of this episode is probably going to be just that, but we can go ahead and jump right into it. Starting off, we recently got news of a Pokemon Lego collaboration that will be coming in 2026. I'm not really a huge Lego guy, but I did say that if they did One Piece or Pokemon, I'd buy as many sets as I could, and we are getting both sometime in the next couple of years. I'm hoping that in the future we end up getting maybe a Pallet Town or Lumio City set, so I could have my little guys like just stationed in there and all that, you know? If you're not caught up with the Pokemon anime, you might want to skip to the next segment. I'll give you like 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so for anyone that knows already or doesn't really care, we ended up getting some Korokoro scans on the new Pokemon Horizon season, and it looks like the next season will be having a 3-year time skip, as we can see the main cast members with new updated designs with a new character named Ult that is said to be Roy's rival. From what we can tell, the new arc is seemingly going to be focused on Mega Evolutions, which could give us some insight on what to expect from Legend ZA, possibly in terms of what the plot could be. It's interesting to see that the Pokemon anime has characters that are actually progressing in terms of age. It makes me think that they could do something similar to Yu-Gi-Oh, where every few sagas we get new protagonists that get older and grow stronger in order to make the series stay fresh. I'm curious to see where this goes, so I might start watching Horizons just to see what all the hubbub is about. Now, MoistCritical started his Pokemon Showdown journey earlier last week after Your Rage called him out for the people on his hit list, and he's actually doing somewhat decent. I tuned in on a couple of streams and noticed that he's progressing at a very decent pace. One of the funniest things that I saw was him claiming that somebody blew their Terra load because they, just terra'd too early immediately, which a lot of people do in the lower elo of Showdown. But it's very cool to see him actually take this somewhat seriously and learn all the terminology and lingo and learning how to use the showdown mechanics that can tell you what the weaknesses are for each Pokemon and whatnot. It's really cool to actually see. And with that being said, on the other hand, Your Rage just claimed his first body on the gauntlet, that person being XQC, which should be no surprise to anybody because that nigga is hot buns. With XQC out of the way, Your Rage might actually end up fighting Shofu by the end of all of this, but I would not hold my breath. The Legend ZA dev team won an award at the Famitsu Dengeki 2024 Awards. The director of ZA, Haruka Tochigi, said this: "We're very grateful and honored to receive this. Being awarded even before we published videos showed us the high expectations of the main series. We, the Pokemon Legend ZA dev team, have been putting in daily effort to deliver the new game. The release is just around the corner. Please wait a little longer. Pokemon Legends games are filled with new attempts by Game Freak, as was the case prior, to bring new surprises for players to experience. Pokemon Legends ZA will mega evolve, incorporating new battle mechanics and plenty of gameplay elements unique to urban environments. It's in the final fine-tuning phase now. Look forward to a new adventure in Lumio City. Again, thank you so much." As I expected, Legend ZA has been completed for quite a bit now, and they are making sure that the game is optimized before launch. Now, will this be enough to make the public think any higher of the game? We'll just have to wait and see. But as of right now, it's looking more and more positive for ZA, and I'm hoping that we can see more news regarding the game sometime next month after the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. Pokemon TCG Pocket was on a good roll for a little while, even though trading got slammed due to the high cost of extra materials that were required to trade cards with friends. The Pocket developers stated that all the changes for the trading mechanic will be done by the end of autumn this year, more than likely around the time of the 1-year anniversary. They stated that instead of trade tokens, we would be able to use the immense amount of shine dust that we have accrued over time, and since the shine dust is also used to add flair to the cards, they will be increasing the amount you earn through opening packs in order to allow you to still trade and add a cosmetic flair without it being too expensive. We will eventually be getting ranked at the end of this month, so there will seemingly be no lack of content coming to the game in the next few months. In kind of somewhat breaking news, I guess, I'm eating breakfast right now, and we just got alerts of a brand new set in TCG Pocket. So on top of ranked, we'll also be having TCG Pocket's brand new deck, Shining Revelry, coming out at the exact same day. So if you're a TCG Pocket fan, we have a lot of content to kind of go through. They're finally putting in Lucario EX, which I was hoping for from the first set, and then we didn't get it in the second set, and I was like about to give up, and then they actually put it in the third set, even though it's not a complete Sinnoh set, since there's like a lot of Paldea Pokemon seemingly there, but we finally do have a Giratina EX and a Lucario EX, and also Bibarel EX, which is pretty funny, and alongside some other returning Pokemon like Charizard and Pikachu, and we have Beedrill getting an EX card, and other things as well. But a lot of fans as of right now are not super excited with the introduction of this new set. Seemingly they are kind of overwhelmed, and I kind of felt that way a little bit too, until I just stopped caring about collecting all the cards. I feel like this game is going to kind of be the one where it's like, all right, you might as well just like collect them at your own pace instead of trying to keep up with every single deck that comes out, because they're going to want you to spend money on this game, and you're going to just be more stressed out and overwhelmed if you try to get everything at the exact same time. If you're playing competitively, all you really need is to just collect the base card of every single set and probably trade with them for those cards. And then if you're trying to actually be a collector, then yeah, good luck to you, bro. You might as well have to like drop a couple bands or something to get every card. But with that being said, move on to the next topic. Now, the last and probably biggest piece of Pokemon news that I wanted to talk about was the Pokemon Go sale that happened a few days ago. If you didn't know, Niantic is selling its game business to Scopely. Niantic is mostly known for its revolutionary AR technology, first before its actual games, and they struck gold with Pokemon Go, and then later with Monster Hunter Now and Pikmin Bloom. This deal was valued at over $3.5 billion and will likely be the biggest acquisition that we see this decade. Scopely has worked on games such as Stumble Guys, Monopoly Go, and Marvel Strike Force in the past, which based on those merits alone aren't looking too good for Pokemon Go fans. Most fans are worried about how much higher the monetization will end up being with the new company in charge, but also wondering if the gameplay will end up suffering as well alongside the new acquisition. Niantic stated that they wanted to focus on things outside of gaming, like advancing AR tech, AI, and geospatial technology. We more than likely will never hear about Niantic again in the gaming sense, and their future as a company might be up in the air as well. Moving away from the Pokemon shenanigans, but still staying within the Nintendo bubble, we got an announcement of a Nintendo store opening up in San Francisco on May 15th, thus making it the second official Nintendo store in the United States. As someone that lives in California but doesn't live in the Bay Area, I'm a little bit conflicted, but this is going to make my Pokemon Worlds trip for next year all the more exciting when it is in San Francisco. In other Nintendo news, as we rapidly approach the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, we are seeing new patents for the Switch 2, including a possible new GameCube controller and AI image upscaling, which allows games that aren't natively ran at 4K to be run in 4K with the power of AI. In other news, there is hints of a brand new Persona game getting a remake, as P4RE.jp was registered by someone that we can only assume is Atlas. We have seen this in the past with Persona 3 Reload, and if this follows the same pattern, we could possibly end up seeing a trailer within the next 3 months, and maybe even at the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct in April. In Xbox news, we're getting reports that their next 2 consoles are currently in development, the first of which being a handheld that is set to be revealed later on this year, and the second being a new console that is very similar to a PC using Windows, which would allow you to natively download games that aren't even available on the Xbox Store. This console is set to be revealed in 2027 at the earliest. If the reports are indeed true, then this may be one of the few ways that I can see Xbox keeping a sense of originality by allowing people that want a PC that can't really afford one and probably don't want to have to deal with all the building nonsense of, making a PC, to have something that is just simple, cheaper, and probably similar in power. In anime news, we got trailers for Gachiakuta's anime adaptation, Dandadan Season 2, and My Hero Academia's final season. And finally, we have more Marvel Rivals news. Of course, I've been talking about Marvel Rivals since the game has essentially been out, but we never run out of stuff to talk about for this game. But I want to start on a more positive note. Firstly, we got a new comic one-shot that sends a few heroes back in time in Japan. The heroes that we see on the cover with fresh new duds are Luna Snow, Hela, Punisher, and Penny Parker. The Rivals team stated that Luna Snow, Punisher, and Hela skins will eventually join the game soon in an upcoming update. It seems that they will be teasing future skins in their own comic one-shots in the future as well. But the biggest piece of Rivals news was the lawsuit that they are facing for $900 million. The lawsuit was made by Prytania Media, and in the suit they claim that NetEase has participated in unfair trade practices, defamation, and interfering with investors, and leaking confidential information. NetEase responded denying these allegations, but this honestly looks like a waste of time in court. There isn't any proof of any of these allegations, and seemingly they're trying to get a few extra dollars, or also just trying to stifle any of the productivity that NetEase has going on over at Marvel Rivals. But with that being said, that is going to be the end of today's episode of Too Many Frames. If you enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you want me to talk about next week. I will be back on Monday, so it's really only gonna be like a 4-day break, which probably means that episode is going to be relatively short, but it is March. We are almost out of the first quarter of the year, so we will be eventually seeing a lot more video games and other anime stuff coming very, very soon, and not just news, my videos as well. So go ahead, click the notification bell if you want to go ahead and see anything that I have going on later on this month, and especially in April, because I got a lot of content in April that I am going to be recording and talking about. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.